Chapter 2. One day before court, the names are called. Joe, Brock, Poco, Arnold. They are escorted into a small room with no windows and a long metal table. One by one, folders are slid in front of them, thick stacks of paper, signed, final. Charges, evidence, dates, words that feel heavier than chains. Joe opens his folder and reads in silence. His eyes move, but nothing sticks. Somewhere between the paragraphs, his voice slips out, flat and distant. There has to be a way out of this. The papers are passed to Brock. He scans the first page, then the second. His breathing changes. His eyes widen. Court's tomorrow, he blurts out. Tomorrow? And wait, there's no lawyer? He slams the papers down, panic spilling over. I swear, bro, if we get sentenced, Joe's gonna pay for this. The anger drains almost immediately, replaced by regret. Brock rubs his face, groaning under his breath. The papers slide to Poco. His hands shake as he reads. His shoulders sink. He doesn't argue. He doesn't shout. He just whispers, barely audible, I only wanted to heal. Then the papers reach Arnold. He flips them upside down, squints, shrugs. Wait, is this school homework? No one laughs. The next day they're escorted out. Chains, doors, hallways, the sound of footsteps echoing towards something none of them are ready for. The courtroom fills. The condemned sit in front. Behind them, the room tells a different story. Brock's parents sit stiff and pale, hands clasped like they're holding on to something already lost. Poco's wife stands near the aisle, eyes red, barely staying upright. Arnold's grandparents sit together, shoulders touching, faces carved with worry and quiet shame. And behind Joe, no one. The room settles. Brock leans forward, whispering urgently, his voice cracking. Bro, we're really doing this? Court? Man, I ain't ready for this. This is way over my head. The doors open, they're brought in. Barley is missing. At first, the court dismisses him, just a machine. Then, moments later, he is wheeled in anyway. Deactivated. Silent. Presented not as a person, but as evidence. A warning. A symbol of what technology can become. The judge enters. The room rises, then falls into silence. We are here, the judge begins, voice cold and steady, to examine the actions of these individuals and the consequences of violence, technology, and lawlessness that have brought our community to the brink. Joe stands. I take full responsibility, he says calmly. Some of this was beyond anyone's control. Brock snaps. This is crazy, he blurts. I'm just a gamer, not a criminal mastermind. He points at Joe. He forced me to do it. Joe doesn't react. He doesn't argue. He just looks at Brock, understanding settling in his eyes. Poco steps forward, hands trembling. I didn't mean for anyone to get hurt, he says softly. I just wanted to help. Arnold looks around, confused, like a kid in the wrong classroom. Wait, so we're in trouble? He asks. But I'm fast. I can fix this, right? Brock shakes his head in disbelief. Poco mutters under his breath. Santa Mia, este niño. Barley remains dark, silent, unmoving. The room goes still. The trial has begun. The judge does not raise his voice. He doesn't need to. After reviewing the evidence and the eyewitness accounts, he says evenly, this court finds Joe Newton and his accomplices, Poco Hernandez, Brock Theodore, and Arnold Tom, responsible for the deaths of multiple individuals. The words fall like stones. The record shows a pattern of extreme violence, a complete disregard for the rule of law, multiple counts of capital murder, the deliberate killing of a civilian, the killing of law enforcement officers in the line of duty. Brock shifts in his seat, breathing hard. The use of destructive devices against private property, the judge continues, the reckless endangerment of the public, the widespread loss of life, these acts represent a direct and severe threat to public safety. Brock snaps. But they were criminals. The judge doesn't look at him. These are not mistakes, he says calmly. They are the most egregious crimes this court recognizes. Silence. Then, without emotion, do the defendants have legal representation? Behind them, Brock's parents break. His mother presses a hand to her mouth. His father shakes his head slowly, whispering, Son, what have you done? Brock sees them. He doesn't argue. He covers his face with his hands. Poco swallows, voice trembling. Madre mia, I didn't mean harm. Joe stands. No, Your Honor, he says quietly. We don't need one. Brock's head snaps up. What? He slams his hands on the table. No lawyer? Joe, are you serious? Joe doesn't turn around. The judge nods once. Very well. He lifts the gavel. The evidence against you is overwhelming. This court sentences Joe Newton and his accomplices to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. The gavel strikes. Justice must be served. Another strike. Case closed. The sound echoes longer than it should. Brock screams, "No! Bro! This can't be it!" Poco shakes his head, tears spilling. Madre mia, no podemos. Joe exhales once. "So," he says calmly, "this is it." Arnold bounces in his seat, panic finally breaking through confusion. Life like forever? In jail? Zoom. Poco's wife collapses into tears, nearly fainting where she stands. Arnold's grandparents stare at him in silence, no anger left, only sorrow. Barley remains dark, unmoving. Guards surge forward, chains clink, hands grip shoulders. Slow Joe and his team are pulled from their seats and led away, the courtroom blurring behind them. The doors close, and the sentence begins.